Hey there, honey bunch. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Nikko Austen Smith, and I make videos about the real stuff that no one tells you about in the acting industry. Today, I want to talk to you about the top 5 audition mistakes that I've made when I was starting out. And let's be honest, a couple that still kind of get me every now and then. So if you ever walked out of an audition and immediately started spiraling, this one's for you. Number 1, not being prepared and thinking that I was, or that I could phone it in, or that it's fine. When I first started auditioning, I thought I was prepared if I just had the lines memorized. But I didn't realize how different that is from being connected and grounded and vulnerable and open. I wasn't asking, where am I? Who am I talking to? What just happened? Why now? I just memorized words and hoped that I felt something in the room. And, I didn't. So here's what I wish I knew. I wish I knew that preparation is more than just memorization and picking out an outfit. It's emotional readiness, it's stakes, it's connection, what the character needs, where they just came from physically, not just knowing the scene and what's going on, but actually living it and telling it truthfully. And number 2, on the opposite side of that spectrum, it's over-preparing to the point of rigidity. You know, when you run a really important high-stakes audition, like 100 times. And then suddenly you're not acting anymore. You're just doing a routine. You become robotic. And that was me. I once ran a scene so many times that when I got into the room, I couldn't take direction. I was locked into what I had already done 100 times before. I felt stiff, and then my nerves kept making me more stiff. And I wasn't being very kind to myself in my head. My thought process was, well, I prepared so much. Why can't I do it perfectly? Why can't I do it how I rehearsed it? Why does all this feel false? And that's because nothing is perfect. I was chasing perfectionism because I didn't feel like enough. I wanted to be professional and ready to go, but what I really ended up being was controlling, because underneath all of that, I was scared. It was a really big opportunity. So here's what I wish I knew. My prep for any audition should be deep, but also flexible. You're not carving your audition into stone. You're making a living and breathing blueprint. That's why most casting directors still don't mind when you hold the sides in your first read for an audition, unless the sides are hindering you. Mostly because holding the sides symbolizes that this is a work in progress and that it's not finished yet. And it's not finished yet because it's a first audition. They're not shooting it today. All right, let's talk about the biggest mistake you might be making right now. No, it's not forgetting your lines. It's not showing up 15 minutes late to set, although that's a huge one. I'm talking about not banking with First Entertainment Credit Union. Because if you work in the entertainment industry and you're still dealing with high fees, delays in getting paid, or a bank that doesn't work with your lifestyle, oh, honey bunch, we need to talk. Look, we all put in the work to make it in this industry, but being successful isn't just about talent, it's about financial success as well. And First Entertainment makes sure that we have those tools to thrive. First off, they don't just give you a bank account and say, good luck. They actually help you understand money with their financial wellness center. It's packed with resources on budgeting, saving, and planning for the future. Because let's be honest, our income is very unpredictable. One month you're rolling in residuals and the next crickets. And speaking of financial freedom, let's talk about the value checking account, because this is where the magic happens. No minimum balance requirement, because who needs that stress? I got bills to pay. No monthly service fee, as long as you're signed up for e-statements, which is super easy to do. 24/7 mobile banking to check your balance, pay bills, and move money from anywhere. Mobile check deposits, you can snap a pic, deposit your check, done. Zelle for instant payments, because your friends will definitely remind you if you forget to Venmo your share at brunch. And access to nearly 30,000 surcharge-free ATMs, so you're never paying ridiculous ATM fees on set. And lastly, advanced pay. This one is huge. You can get your payroll deposits up to 3 days earlier. That means you don't have to wait till Friday for that sweet, sweet, sweet paycheck that you worked hard for. So tell me, why are you still banking anywhere else? Seriously, if you're in entertainment and you're not with First Entertainment Credit Union, you may just be making life a wee bit harder for yourself. And I'm an actor. I know a bad decision when I see one. So don't make the mistake of missing out on financial freedom. Sign up today using my link in the description box down below and start banking smarter and set yourself up for financial success, because making it in this industry is hard enough, but your banking shouldn't be. And thank you so much to my friends over at First Entertainment for sponsoring this video, and enjoy the rest. Number 3, dressing the part to the point of wearing a costume. Oh my God, I once wore like this full nursing costume to an audition. I thought I was being smart and committed, but what I was actually giving off was that I don't trust my acting skills enough to sell this, so let me put something on top of it to really show people that I'm a nurse. Casting doesn't need any of that. Producers don't need any of that. They need you. They need a suggestion of what the character could possibly wear, not a literal Halloween costume. So, pro tip, if you're going in for a nurse or a doctor or somebody in some sort of field like that, you can wear a button-down shirt and some slacks, call it a day, and leave the doctor props at home for the love of God. So here's what I wish I knew. Your acting should do the heavy lifting. Your prep should do the heavy lifting. Dress to hint at the vibe. You don't need to cosplay. Number 4 is psyching myself out, and this is something that sometimes tends to creep up even in my life today. Can I be vulnerable on your screen for a second? One of my hardest habits to break is rejecting myself before anybody else can. I'd walk into the room already thinking, oh, I'm not what they were looking for. What am I even doing here? It's a waste of my time. Because back in the day, i.e. 2019, you'd be in the waiting room for auditions and you'd see most everybody that they're calling in. And it was daunting for me. I'd see someone in the waiting room who looked like a supermodel, who was unapologetically themselves, or an actress that I recognized from a TV show. And I would immediately shrink because if I was a casting director, I'd probably cast one of them and not myself, so why am I here? Even if it's a self-tape, sometimes I'd watch my tape back and be like, oh, I'm not right for this. They're never gonna cast me. Like, this is a waste of time. I was handing over my power. So here's what I wish I knew. My job as an actor is not to decide if I'm right for a part. My job is to show up fully and truthfully and unapologetically, and then just let it go, because I know that this is my version of the character and this is how I see my version of the character fitting into the story. And that's all I can do. Easier said than done, I know, but we try. Every audition is an opportunity to connect, not to prove that you're a good actor. That mindset shift changed everything for me, because casting directors, producers, directors, studio execs, whatever, they will remember good work. Number 5, doing way too much. The era that shut down the whole world a few years ago. You remember that, right? When everything moved to self-tapes, I panicked and thought, well, how do I stand out now? Because now, instead of seeing 20 people for a role, they're seeing 100 people for a role and looking through all these tapes, and how do I keep their interest, and how do I blah, blah, blah. So, one time for a series regular audition, oh my God, I edited in like a FaceTime or like a live Instagram effect, because my character is supposed to be on Instagram, vlogging or whatever. I was like, I have the opportunity to make a short film, basically. And I was doing all these things and adding effects to a self-tape. Looking back, it was bad and 100% rooted in fear. I thought that the bells and whistles would make up for insecurity, and they really just highlighted it. So here's what I wish I knew. The best way to stand out is to be honest, to be present, and to be truthful. Not gimmicky. Just you in your apartment or home, wherever you are, connecting from the gut. And that's enough. And please don't add any effects to your self-tapes. Thanks. So, Honey Bunch, those are my top 5 audition mistakes that I have made since beginning my acting journey. From costumes to spiraling out to adding special effects. But I share all of this to not embarrass myself. Although, you're welcome. Literally everybody makes mistakes. We all fumble, we all learn, and we all grow. So if you've made any of these mistakes, or you want to share your own story of a mistake that you've made for an audition, drop a comment below. Let's support each other in this wild little career that we've chosen. And don't forget to check out my link in the description box down below and get your first entertainment credit union banking experience underway. And if you found this helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe for more Actor Bestie content coming your way Thursday after next. So until next time, stay soft, stay grounded, and keep showing up for yourself. Bye.